Hello and welcome to a new video on the HKCM global channel. My name is Philip. Today I'm going to take a look at my expectations on Bitcoin and Ethereum. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below our videos, share the content as well, and if you're also interested in the other things I'm doing, please follow my Instagram on Philip Klinkmüller. So today Bitcoin, Ethereum, two of my favorite markets. I've been following the Bitcoin for quite some time. I've been charting it on a daily basis since 2017. So I was on the early side of things here, long before others started charting Bitcoin with the Elliott wave method. The usual, just like in my last video, I will first of all take a look at my overall expectation for the Bitcoin, and then we will take a look at the more detailed charts, and we're also going to take a look again at the indicator charts and how they support or do not support the current outlook within my Elliott wave counts. So overall, Bitcoin, a very, very interesting subject. Currently, I'm on the lower time frames, but I will come to that later. I'm very cautious at what is happening. Overall, I'm still expecting the Bitcoin to be in a major breakout phase, which will eventually, if the undercounts play out the way I'm expecting them to do, result in prices around, let's make it easy, $200,000 to $240,000 for this uptrend cycle that we are currently in. But on the lower time frames, and also in order to fuel this impulsive move that I'm expecting to reach the $200,000 region, we will need some more substance on the lower time frames, and we will need a, let's call it, loading phase again. So the market will need a reset, in my perspective, in the near future. And I've been very cautious for the last 2 to 3 months now on the expectations on the Bitcoin price. Everybody became very bullish once we surpassed the $100,000 mark, but since then not a lot has happened. And if we're going to take a look later at the indicators, we're also seeing clear signs of the market slowing down and of the market losing momentum in its upward trend. So my two current scenarios that I'm focused on is that we are either going to, in the near future, complete wave 1, which would then be the sub-wave of our overall wave 3 count, which will result in a wave 2 correction, which could or should at least reach the $50,000 region. But we are also very likely to see prices below 40,000 and even possible under 30,000, although I'm not leaning towards those levels right now. So I'm more expecting for us, if this correction takes place the way I'm expecting it to, that we are going to see the $35,000 region for a bottom, and then continuing the upcycle and continuing the move towards $200,000 plus region in the long term. So this is not going to happen overnight. This is not going to happen within the next 6 months, just to be clear on that for now. The close-up expectation within my wave 1 expectation is that we are currently seeing a consolidation within the subwave 4, which I will allow a maximum of $80,000. If we drop below $80,000, I have to assume that wave 1 has already topped out, and we have already started the correction as shown on the other chart here, that we are now moving towards $50,000 and towards $40,000 within maybe the next 6 to 12 months. So timing is not something I can make a detailed projection on. It's just a rough assumption from previous corrections. How long did they take? So this would be my assumption, that once wave 2 is going to take place, that it will approximately take around 6 to 12 months to unfold. The most critical thing right now for me is that the Bitcoin will not drop below $82,000 in the current correction that we are seeing here, and then it has to make another high in order to complete wave 1, and then the correction in wave 2 can unfold afterwards. For now, I'm not seeing any signs that the small consolidation here in wave 4 has already completed. The market is in those structures here. Since the last 2 lows, the market has not shown any impulsive structures. It's not showing a clear 5-wave up, 3-wave down count, which would be a clear sign that we have bottomed and the market is ready to pick up the next up leg. So I'm currently still very cautious, and I'm also very cautious on that $82,000 level, because if we break below this level, I am expecting the market to drop very fast and this could trigger a massive sell-off. Yeah, I already mentioned it. Let's take a look at the indicator charts as well. So what can we expect, or what can we see from on the Bitcoin chart here? We have already a sell signal on the MACD and also a little sell signal on the RSI on the weekly chart, and we are also seeing that for quite some time we are losing momentum on the weekly chart as well. The long short indicator has not yet shown a sign for the market to switch into a short gamma, but it is definitely something to view here, because if we take a look at the past, on the past Bitcoin highs and lows, the weekly has been a very important chart for us, and it has been a clear indicator, a clear sign of when the market has reached its tops, and after those signals were formed, no more new all-time highs, or respectively impulsive new all-time highs, haven't been formed anymore. So we can see here that once we crossed down here in 21, around April 21, the market had a massive drop, below around $30,000 here. Then we saw another B wave, which made a marginal higher high, and then we had that major sell-off, which took quite some time to unfold, and which was also then marked by a clear bottom on the weekly MACD and weekly RSI and the weekly momentum. So this is something that keeps me very cautious here for the Bitcoin and for my expectation for the market to either having already topped out or topping out in the near future. If we go on the higher time frame of the 2-week, we are also seeing that the market, the MACD, is moving in on a crossing down signal. RSI is slowing down. The momentum hasn't slowed down yet, which is a good sign in terms of the expectation for the market to form at least one more high before we start the sell-off. And the monthly has also not yet shown any signs of a clear top yet. It is slowing a little, but there is no cross, there is no loss of momentum yet. So this still underlines my expectation that we are still up for one more high, but I'm not expecting a lot more than that. So all those expectations and counts that we are now going straight to $200,000 plus, I'm not seeing that. My charts do not support any kind of this move that we're going to see a direct move towards 200K or even more than that. So I think for this, we will need a major reset in the market in order to build up enough new momentum to fuel another move of this magnitude here. But there's one more scenario I want to show you, which could be another way out of or which could also get the market in order to reset and to build up momentum again, which would change the overall count and which would make the upcoming correction not as, let's say, bad or not as drastic as my current primary scenario I have on the charts, which would be that we are not just uploading for the wave 3 to complete, as I had shown on my other chart here, but that we are already completing wave 3 in a direct fashion, basically, and then we're going to see a more flat and more timely correction in wave 4 before we're going to be seeing another up leg. So that would be my other option to solve the overall perspectives in the Bitcoin. Nevertheless, even in that correction, we are going to see a major drop in the market, because I would not be expecting the Bitcoin just to settle by reaching the 23.6% retracement. I would at least expect 38.2 or even the 50% retracement to be reached. So this could also be a 40-45% correction to the downside. Plus, this, since it's a wave 4, we would have to expect a very complex correction. We would also have to expect the correction to be very timely. So my primary scenario, I think, would solve things much quicker and would be setting up us much faster for a new up leg and a new major uptrend than this wave 4 would, because typically wave 4s also correct over time, not just by the price action. So if we're seeing, for example, if there would be a triangle correction here in wave 4, this could be very timely, and this could stretch out over a very long time. So we would be seeing something like this: A, B, C, D, E in the triangle for wave 4. So this could stretch out for a long time. We've seen that in other markets as well. So for now, the quick, easy fix would be make one more high. That's my max expectation for the Bitcoin right now, that we're going to be seeing one last impulsive up move, and then we're going to be starting wave 2 within the overall wave 3 action. Or We have already topped out in wave 1. We are going directly to wave 2 if we drop below the $82,000 mark, and then get it over with in a quick fashion, have a drastic sell-off like we've seen in the past with the Bitcoin, and get it over with. Take the medicine with one spoon instead of feeding in and dragging this out over maybe 24 months or even longer, which would be something I have to expect if we are going to wave 4, that this is going to take quite some time for the market to settle, and it will be very, very, very painful. So this is not something anybody should be hoping for, especially since the wave 2 will offer us much more attractive levels to re-enter the market. As I said, it could easily drop below the $40,000 mark again, so this would be a very interesting point to upload on long positions again. Let's also take a look at the development on the Ethereum charts. Overall, it is not the same expectation as in the Bitcoin. Due to the current events in those Ethereum charts in the last few weeks and months, Ethereum has been massively lagging in its development, and it's been lagging to the point that I'm becoming very, very critical of the state of the chart in general, because usually all the altcoins are lagging in terms of the performance if we compare them to the Bitcoin, but Ethereum has always been it's been on the toes of Bitcoin to a certain extent. So at least if the Bitcoin made new all-time highs, Ethereum came close to its new all-time highs or made marginal new all-time highs, at least before the altcoin season started or before those rallies started when the Bitcoin dominance drops. But in all of the current move, Ethereum has been leading. When it came to the point where in 22 we started on the bottoming phase, Ethereum had a little lead on the Bitcoin, but this has long been gone, and since then Ethereum has been massively lagging in terms of its performance. As we can see here on this chart, with the last high, we were not even able to take out the highs from around February 24, March 24. We have seen a major drop. We almost recovered the last lows we had here in September, August of 24. And to be honest, the whole substructure since the lows is not getting any better. And as longer as all this takes, gets me more and more bearish on what is going to happen to Ethereum, especially now if the Bitcoin has already topped out. I'm having serious concerns on how Ethereum is going to manage that. So my alternative for the moment is ranked at 45%, that we could see, if we see a drop below $1,522, that the market could even be going to new lows, which would mean that we could even take out the lows we have seen in 22 at around $893 before we would see a major bottom and then start a new upcycle for Ethereum. So this is something I'm currently very concerned with, and I would have liked at this point to see the market at least above these highs. But even better would have been to take out the highs we formed in 21, but this hasn't happened yet, so I'm very, very, very cautious here right now. The indicator charts are also supporting that the market is not in the greatest of states here. As we've seen before on the Bitcoin, the Bitcoin has not yet shown any sell signals on the 2-week. Ethereum has shown clear signals on the 2-week chart. The last high was formed on a negative divergence here in the MACD. In the RSI, we are losing momentum. We are currently in negative momentum. We have a short signal on my long short indicator, and we are also not looking very hot on the monthly chart as well, which is also showing clear negative divergence with those last 2 highs. We are losing momentum for quite some time now. There was one positive intermezzo here around November, which was then followed by momentum loss again, and we are also closing in on forming the short signal on my long short indicator here. So Ethereum overall is not looking very hot right now in comparison to the Bitcoin, because it should have already performed. Basically, that's the message here. So I'm very, very cautious here. I'm currently not looking to add to any of my long positions in Ethereum. Me personally, I got out of most of my Ethereum positions around the $4,000 mark here, and I'm now waiting for what is going to happen, how this move is going to play out, until we are seeing something of a clear impulsive structure from these lows surpassing $4,091, and then seeing a proper retracement in a wave 2, in a 1-2 setup, I'm not re-entering the market here because this is really concerning to me. If those 1522 are broken to the downside, it's game over for my count since the lows, and I would have to expect the market to drop below the $1,000 mark again, and even drop below those $893 to form a new low before we could be looking at a new upcycle for Ethereum. Let's all wrap it up here. Bitcoin, basically, I'm expecting the market to finish its current consolidation. As long as we don't drop below the $82,000 mark, I'm expecting it to make another all-time high, but then I'm expecting this upward move since the lows to be completed, seeing a larger correction, which ideally reaches levels around $35,000. Alternatively, we've already topped out, which would then mean below 82,000. This would be my primary expectation then, that we are going down and that we are not seeing a new all-time high, other than maybe a B-wave high, which would still be possible, but this has to be seen as the correction unfolds. I've also shown my overall alternative for us to see a flatter correction, but a more timely correction in the Bitcoin as an alternative, but it would also probably result in a loss of around 30 to 40% in the Bitcoin price. And for Ethereum, as I just stated, I'm very cautious what's happening here right now, and I'm not looking for new long entries here until the market shows me a clear sign that we are in an upward move, and there's a lot of pressure on that market right now. And those $1,522 are the critical point. If this line is broken, then I don't see any chance for Ethereum to form a new impulse to the upside until we have formed a new low below probably $1,000. Yeah, that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed the video, and see you in my next video, which will be on the topic of gold and silver. Thanks for watching.